Welcome back to Petrolhead from wherever you're watching. And beside me is the glorious Toyota HiAce. And this car is considered to be one of the most unsafe vehicles in the automotive industry because of its clearance at the front right here. You see, if you're the driver of the Toyota HiAce, you are sitting on top of the engine and you're also sitting on top of the front tires. What does that mean? That means that the crash distance of the Toyota HiAce is quite small. That way, if you get into a front impact, the likelihood of surviving is close to nothing. Join us as we dive into this vehicle. This is Petrolhead. Like, subscribe, and share to your family and friends. And see you on the video. The Toyota HiAce was born in 1967, and it is a no-nonsense cargo van that has stubbornly evolved into an unkillable global workhorse. And Toyota keeps refining it just enough to stay relevant, but let's be real, it's still a glorified metal box on wheels. In Japan, this car is a business shuttle. In Africa, it is a widely overpacked matatu. And in Australia, it is a tradesman best friend. When you go to the Philippines, it is anything from a commuter van to a VIP transport. But despite its ancient design, it refuses to die, making it Toyota's ultimate cash cow, because why would you fix something that won't break? And one thing about the Toyota HiAce, if you bring it to the Kenyan automotive market and in the Kenyan transport market, you will have to close the door on the right side of the car, and you know, this door right here will have to be permanently closed because Kenya, we drive on the left side of the road, and passengers will have to alight from the left side of the road, which is the safest place to alight. And so this is a vehicle that, you know, has been very controversial, but people have also liked it because of the reliability and the power options that it comes with. That is why most people in the Kenyan market refer to this car as chopper, because it has some power, and there are variants of this vehicle that even shares an engine with the glorious Toyota Land Cruiser Prado. Let's dive into the engine and see more of that. The 2017 Toyota HiAce, being the stubbornly practical van it is, came with a selection of engines designed for reliability over excitement. It offered both petrol and diesel options, with the 2.7-litre 2TR-FE inline-4 petrol engine providing just enough grunt to get the job done, while the 3-litre 1KD FTV turbo diesel and the newer 2.8-litre 1GD FTV turbo diesel added the torque needed for heavier loads. Now, for the interesting part, some HiAce trims shared engines with the Toyota Prado, proving Toyota loves to recycle its best work. The 3-litre 1KD FTV diesel, which was a staple in the Prado 120 and early 150 series, found its way under the hood of the higher spec HiAce models, ensuring they could pull just as hard as their SUV cousins. The 2.8-litre 1GD FTV, introduced in later models, also linked the HiAce to the Prado 150, making the van equivalent of an overworked and appreciated off-roader. If you are driving a Toyota HiAce out there, just don't be amazed by the fun that it brings, because this car is really fun to drive because it drives the rear wheels or both the front and the rear wheels. And there was a time where this vehicle was notorious for accidents in the Kenyan roads, and you know, people are saying that brakes were locking and all that, but you know, these vehicles, if you want to put it in the public service matatu, in the Kenyan market, guys go and modify the suspension and the wheel components, and that will interfere with the engineering that the Japanese guy made for this vehicle. And that way, it was bringing problems with the brakes for those people who had interfered with the suspension configuration. And it will reach a point where the brakes would kind of lock, and maybe the brakes will not even catch, and it will lead to very serious accidents. So this vehicle is brought to you courtesy of Impact Motors, and if you want to purchase this one, it is going for only 3.5 million Kenyan shillings. Call us on the number below and we will facilitate your purchase of the 2017 Toyota HiAce. With that being said, let's go to the side profile of the Toyota HiAce. Now, on the side profile of the 2017 Toyota HiAce, it comes with the size 15 wheels, but it varies from one Toyota HiAce to another. You can get it in either size 15, 16, and this one can accommodate even 19 inches wheels. That is why you never see the ones that are being used as matatu scraping down there, because they have bigger wheels and bigger suspensions. And on the side right here, this window, it also varies from one Toyota HiAce to another. You can get it in this configuration where it has glass from front to back, and you can also get it in another configuration where it is kind of, separated in such a way that you can open these parts of the window if you will use the Toyota HiAce to carry passengers. But for this specific one, it only has this part that can open, and there is also this door that slides like that gives you access to the Toyota HiAce. We will look at the interior later, and you see the car is super long, and this is a vehicle that is very practical if you are looking for a vehicle to use as your business. And there are some Toyota HiAces that people have even made them to be habitable, in that they've made them in such a way that they've fitted a bed and the appliances for one to make it habitable. And at the back profile right here, there is not much going on apart from this mirror that gives you the view of this lower part of the car as you're reversing. This being a long car, you will need the best view as you're reversing. So this mirror will mirror the rear view mirror at the driver's seat, and you will be able to have the view of this area of the car. Let's go and explore the interior of the 2017 Toyota HiAce. When you step into the front interior of the 2017 Toyota HiAce, you're instantly transported to an era where functional was only design philosophy. Forget luxury. This is a workspace on wheels, and with hard plastic so durable, they might even survive a nuclear blast. The dashboard is as basic as it gets, featuring a cluster of buttons and dials that scream, "Why would you need a touchscreen when you have hands?" And what about the storage? You only get a glove box that have few oddly placed cup holders that may or may not actually fit your drink. The seating arrangement also ensures that comfort is just an afterthought, especially for the middle passenger who gets to straddle the gear shifter in manual models. But hey, at least the air condition is strong enough to make you forget that you're basically sitting in an upright metal coffin. Toyota didn't design the highest front interior to impress, but to last forever. By judging the numbers still on the road, it succeeded. Now, the front seat, you can recline it like this, but if you use it as a matatu, they always put a bar right here which restricts the inclination of the front seat. And now, as I'm seated right here, the seats are just, normal seats. I can't say that they are comfortable, but they serve the purpose. You can use it to take this car from point A to point B. And the steering is quite huge. This being a huge car, I'm literally sitting on the engine. The engine is under here, and the tires are also under here, like here. When you look at the instrument cluster right here, you see that this car does not have an RPM gauge. Instead, it only has the temperature gauge, the fuel gauge, and the speedometer. So the RPM, I think you'll just need to calculate it with your head, because this is an automatic, but you can also get this vehicle as a manual transmission. One thing, if you get this kind of manual transmission, the gear selector is at the perfect position, so that you can just change from gear 1 to gear 2 just here. And it's very fun to drive, being that it is a rear wheel vehicle. And there is the climate control right here, the basic infotainment screen, which is in Japanese because this vehicle came from Japan. And there is also this button right here for the rear climatic control, which I know it's not that effective, this being a Toyota. We also have a 100-watt socket right here, which you can use to plug your appliance. And you also have a 12-volt socket right here for the cigarette lighting port and all that. But nowadays, they don't come with that cigarette lighting thing. They're trying to discourage people from smoking as they're driving. We also have this glove box right here. And this car comes with 2 airbags, airbag for the driver and airbag for the passenger. But if I will be driving this car, I will be super keen, because just look at the crash distance. It has a very small crash distance. And driving this car, it's like putting your life on the line. So driving this car, you need to be very, very, very keen. And with that being said, we don't have much going on at the front here, apart from these lights right here and the sun visors, which do not come with a mirror. Just basic things. And the rear view mirror is super good. I have view of the other mirror, which shows me what's happening under the vehicle at the back there. Yeah, and with that being said, let's dive into the back space of the Toyota HiAce. Now, at the back of the Toyota HiAce, this is the configuration that it comes with if you get this car from Japan. And it only comes with this seat right here. But there is another configuration of the Toyota HiAce, the passenger variant, which you can buy from Toyota, but it is quite expensive compared to this one. So people would rather go for this one and fabricate seats to put right here, instead of going for the pre-made one from the factory. And you see at the back here, we have the climate control that can benefit the passengers who will sit here. But if you add seats for the passengers at the back here, they will not really enjoy this one unless you close the vehicle completely and let the air circulate more. And now, guys, if you're looking for a vehicle to use as a matatu or to use as a car to haul cargo here and there to do deliveries, just look at this space behind here. And you see this part, this one is made of wood, but when people buy them to use them in the Kenyan market, they make them out of plastic. They change the wooden part to be plastic, because the plastic one will last even longer. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to purchase this vehicle, call us on the number below. This vehicle is available at Impact Motors. We will facilitate your purchase of this car and give even advice if you want to take the petrol. If you take the petrol or the diesel one, just call us and we'll give you all that advice. We will see you on the next episode of Petrolette. And with that being said, like, subscribe, and support us, guys. Click on the thanks button to support your boys. And with that being said, see you next time.